Hi everyone, I'm excited to take you on an in-depth look at the reporting dashboard, your destination to manage, track, and plan your sales and marketing activities inside of New Home Connect. The best part about this structure is that it will integrate with everything else inside of the portal, making your life a heck of a lot easier. Let's get started. All right, in order to access your sales report dashboard from anywhere in the system, simply click on the Ops Cycle button on the left-hand column. The dashboard itself will come up as a default landing page when you click on that button. You'll also have the options here in the drop-down to select your Asset 180, your Comp Study, your SWOT, or your Blueprint. If you're in one of those forms, you can also click on the Sales Report button here, and it will bring you back to the same dashboard. Up at the top here, you'll see a place to select your community as well as to select the month. The month will default automatically by which month it is, but if you wanted to look backwards and take a look at your previous results, you could click down here and look at January 2014 results. You'll also be able to see what goals you've set up for your traffic, conversion, and sales for the month of February. Just so you know, you'll be prompted on a quarterly basis to set your goals for each month in the following quarter. You'll also be able to see and edit your commission information, as well as track your progress in traffic, conversion, and sales for the month that you're in. Below that, you have 4 key sections inside of the dashboard: SAMI activity, prospect activity, sales activity, and closing activity. Before we go ahead and get started by looking at the SAMI activity, we need to make sure that we've selected a community so that all the activity I report is now appropriately tracked to the community that I'm in. So now that I've selected the right community, let's go ahead and jump into our SAMI activity section, and let me show you what's going on in here. You'll have 3 options inside of your SAMI activity section: Game Plan, Playbook, and Highlight Reel. Think of it this way. Your game plan is basically your SAMI strategy for the upcoming quarter. Your playbook are the tactical efforts, the specific marketing initiatives that you plan to implement over that quarter. And lastly, your highlight reel will actually review all of the initiatives that you've done over that time period. Let's go ahead then and jump into the game plan so you can see what will happen from there. The first thing for each of these sections is you'll see a description. So in case you forget what it is that you're supposed to be doing, we've made sure to put the information in here for you. We're talking about creating a game plan for your marketing initiatives over the next 90 days. Simply click on the Next button and you're going to get to the first of a couple pages to enter in some brief information about your strategy. In this section, you want to enter in a little bit of information about what your plan is for your realtor marketing and your event marketing. For the sake of time, I'm just going to enter in a quick letter so it will allow us to move forward. If you didn't have any information in here and you tried to move forward, it would stop you. Finally, you're going to have a chance to enter in some information here about your referral strategy, your social media strategy, and lastly, your guerrilla marketing strategy. Once you've actually filled in some information for each of these sections, you'll be able to click Submit. Now, the nice part about the way this system is set up is that once you submit your game plan, and you only need to do one for your quarter, this information will automatically pull over onto your sales blueprint. So when you're providing your quarterly business plan to your managers, they'll be able to see what your strategy was. So now that we've gone in and created our game plan, we want to jump back into our SAMI activity, and now we want to plan one of our tactical marketing initiatives by clicking on our playbook. Again, your playbook description is going to be here for you, so in case you forget, it's right there. Let's go ahead and click Next because we know that our playbook is all about selecting and creating our actual tactical marketing initiatives. When you click Select Play, it's going to give you 2 options. Number 1, you can create a new SAMI concept, or you can select an existing SAMI concept. For the sake of the moment, I'm going to select an existing SAMI concept. Now let's just say that we are going to use Tumblr a little bit more this quarter. I'm going to select the Tumblr option, and then I'm going to click Continue. Then you're going to be asked to fill out 3 simple questions. Number 1, who is your target audience? Number 2, what is your messaging strategy? And number 3, what does completion look like for this activity? Remember that if we don't fill anything out, it won't allow us to move forward. So for the sake of the moment, I'm just going to enter in a couple data points that we can move to the next stage. Finally, you're going to be able to select the date at which you want to complete the activity, the time at which you expect to complete the activity, and the best part is you can set yourself text and email reminders simply by clicking these buttons and entering in your information here. At the bottom, you'll also be able to select at what time periods prior to the event you would like to be reminded. Lastly, you'll click the Submit button, and what you'll see here is my Tumblr Great Marketing Tactic now shows up as an active SAMI activity. As we scroll to the bottom, you'll also be able to see that that SAMI play is now showing over here because I scheduled it for the 21st. So you'll be able to see on your calendar all the things that you're planning inside of SAMI. The last piece of our SAMI activity section is going to be our highlight reel. Remember that the highlight reel is where we go to review the work that we've done. Now you may be asking yourselves, why are we doing it this way? The important thing to remember is that in marketing, our results aren't always easy to pinpoint to a specific individual activity, right? Your marketing department is using website marketing, signage, billboards, newspaper ads, TV ads, and the whole goal is to improve the overall quality and quantity of your traffic. We want to think of SAMI the exact same way, and so when we go into our highlight reel, we're going to click an activity that we are working on that hasn't been reviewed, and we're going to answer two simple questions. Number one, did this activity improve the quality and or quantity of your traffic, and how? And if no, how might you change your approach, method, message, or timing to improve the effectiveness of the SAMI play? This is really important because what we want to do when we give our quarterly presentations in our blueprint is talk about the initiatives that we are doing to generate our SAMI traffic and also have an honest dialogue about how to improve them over time. The goal isn't that every activity is right the first time. The goal is that over time, through a dialogue about what you're doing, that you're able to create more effective sales associate marketing initiatives to increase and improve the quality and quantity of your traffic. Lastly, we want you to rank the quality of this SAMI play call, the SAMI initiative, so that over time we can start to provide you with more information about what other users believe to be the most effective SAMI ideas out there. So now that we've looked at our SAMI activity, let's see what we do when we actually have somebody come into our office. We can go ahead here and click on our prospect activity, and it will pull up three options for us: traffic, appointments, and top prospects. One thing to keep in mind is that if you're using an external CRM system, we can pair up with that CRM system so that you do not have to do duplicate entry for this information. For the moment though, let's assume that you'll be entering traffic directly into our database, and let's go over here and select the traffic button. It's really easy to add traffic with the system. It shouldn't take more than 20 seconds per prospect, which is nice and simple. You have a choice to either click on an existing person or to add a new. So let's go ahead and add a new. And I'm going to go ahead and add Chris James into our system here. Click Next. I'm going to enter in his cell phone number. I'm going to enter in his email number. There's email information. He's from Chicago. And I'm going to select my state of Illinois. Click Next. Lastly, I'm going to pick my lead source. In this case, it was from Directional Signs. My traffic rank, he was a B prospect, and today's date is already populated. I click Submit. And just like that, we have now recorded a unit of traffic. You may not have noticed before, but the traffic had said 3 here, and now it automatically updated to 4, and Chris James is below us. Now let me really quickly show you what happens if Chris comes back in. Again, we click on Prospect Activity, we click on Traffic, we select Chris James from our drop-down. Now it automatically pulls through the old lead source, traffic rate, and automatically populates the date. And it also says right away that it's a repeat. So now it knows that I'm counting a repeat traffic. We'll click Submit, And what you'll see here now is that I see a ×2 on the bottom right-hand corner telling me that Chris James has been in our office twice now. You'll also see that the main traffic count has not changed because this is tracking your first-time traffic only. All right, now that we've learned how to enter in traffic, let's go ahead and set up an appointment by clicking on our Appointments button. From here, you're just going to select the drop-down of the appointment or the prospect you want to set an appointment for. You could also add a new prospect right from here. It would take you back to all the stuff we just looked at before allowing you to add the appointment. But for the moment, let's select Chris. We're going to set up an appointment for this Saturday, and the appointment is going to happen at noon. I'm going to enter that information. We are going to review our purchase agreement and hopefully sign a contract on Saturday at noon. I'm again going to select the options to do text message or email reminders, and I can enter in that information just the same way we entered in the Sammy information. Lastly, I'm going to click Submit, and just like that, very quickly and easily, we now can scroll down here and see that we have an appointment scheduled with Chris for this Saturday at noon. What you also see as you scroll down a little further is that Chris is here on our calendar as well. One quick feature to show you, let's say that Chris cancels his Saturday appointment and pushes back to Sunday. You can select Chris and automatically just move him over to Sunday, and it'll keep the exact same time for you. If you wanted to edit that appointment or edit any of the information in this dashboard, all you need to do is click on the exact section that you want to edit, and you can automatically adjust that information the exact same way from there. All right, now that we've set up an appointment with Chris who's coming in to review our purchase agreement, it probably makes sense to indicate that he is one of our top hottest prospects. So I'm going to click on my prospect activity button, select top prospects. I'm going to scroll down and select Chris. I'm going to indicate that he is now in the commitment stage and that we have a Saturday appointment, and I'm going to click Submit. Now what you're going to see here is that a star is now in the top right-hand corner for Chris, and that indicates that Chris is one of our top prospects. In fact, Chris and Nate are two fairly important prospects that I want to make sure that I don't lose sight of. One last thing to note here for all of these sections is that you can click on a View All at the bottom, and it will pull up all of the traffic you've entered in so far in the month of February. You can also export all of your information. So if you wanted to use it to help you follow up, you could export all of your traffic data into an Excel spreadsheet that would include all the key information you previously entered. All right, so now that we've learned how to enter in a little bit of traffic, let's jump into our sales activity section. And you'll have two options. Number one, to cancel a sale, and number two, to report a sale. Since we know that no one's going to ever cancel, let's just focus in on the reporting sale portion first. Again, you'll see that this is very similar to all the other stuff we've looked at so far in this dashboard. Let's select Chris because he's coming in to sign a contract with us. His information already populates. Let's assume that the deal happens on the 22nd, which is where we set our appointment, and he's paying $453,000 or $453,500 for his home. One thing you'll notice is that if you try to enter in a comma, it's automatically going to be removed for you. Don't worry, that's just to make sure that there's no inconsistencies in the way this information reports out. Click the Next button. I'm going to select that he does not have a contingency, that he is working with a realtor, and then lastly, I'm going to select his expected closing date. This is an inventory home that's supposed to be done on April 11th, and he's provided us with a $5,000 deposit. Finally, he's purchasing lot 127. He's building the peach floor plan, and I'm going to confirm that my commission for the deal is 1.5%. We're confirming your commission here in large part because we want to make sure that the My Wallet feature accurately accounts for any commissions that you have coming your way. You're going to click Submit, and what you'll see here in just a second is that Chris's sale is listed right here underneath your sales activity, and you'll notice in gray that it says pending approval. Your manager will be automatically notified if you're using this system to report your sales that you have a sale pending. He'll go in there and confirm that information, and then it'll pull all the data through automatically. Now let's go up here, and once again, in case we did have to report a cancellation, let's try that out. You're going to click Cancel Sale. You're going to select the sale in which you need to cancel, and then you're going to simply click this button here, Cancel Sale. Just that simple, right? Straightforward, straight to the point. So now that we've reported our sale, let's go ahead into here and click on our closing activity. There's just one piece of information here, so no button to select. You're simply going to identify the buyer that you want to report the closing for. What you're going to see here is that an error message has popped up because my manager has not yet approved the sale. But when the manager approves the sale, all it's going to ask you to do is to confirm the same information from before, the sales price, commission information, and click Submit. And it's automatically going to pull over into your report and into your wallet to indicate that you have closed a home. All right, so now we're going to jump back into the closing activity. We're going to go back and select Chris because Chris has finally, his sale's been approved. And it's just going to ask me to confirm some information that we already know, that the closing date's occurring, what the sales price was originally, what the actual final closing price, since this home was an inventory home, the price was the same. I, however, got a little bonus, so I'm going to increase my commission rate because I performed well over the course of the month and my commission rate went up, and I'm going to click Submit. And now you're going to see that the closing information is not yet approved. That'll trigger my manager, as we said before, to indicate that this information is correct. So just to give a quick overview and review here, make sure that you go ahead and you select the appropriate community. You can edit that information for your community or your commission information by clicking on this button. You'll be able to track your achievement against your goals right at the top of the screen, and then go into any one of the four sections, SAMI, prospect activity, sales activity, and closing activity, simply by hovering over and clicking in. I'm going to say this again, but just as a reminder, if you're using an external CRM system to track your traffic and prospects, sales and closings, our system can integrate. We just need to be connected with your IT department to help make sure that you don't have to do any double entry. The best part about this dashboard is that everything that you enter in here or any information that we extract will speak to all the other areas of New Home Connect. So for example, when you go to do your blueprint, this information, both your goals and your traffic and your sales and your SAMI activities, are all going to automatically populate, which means that you only need to do this stuff once, and the information will be there for you whenever and wherever you need it. Hopefully you enjoyed that quick tour through the sales report dashboard inside of New Home Connect, and you feel like this resource will provide you a better way to organize, track, and manage your key sales and marketing activities. If you have any ideas, comments, or questions, feel free to email us at support@newhomeconnect.com, or as always, you can click on the Support tab on the left-hand side of New Home Connect. We'll see you soon.